What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have 5 tips and tricks for you guys to make your island look a little bit better. I recently did an island tour. You guys really seemed to like that. And some of you had questions on how I get ideas to design my island. So these tricks are going to really help your island look a bit more natural and kind of get rid of the man-made feeling. So let's get started. The first one has to do with palm trees. And what I like to do, especially with areas that are near beaches, is actually put palm trees on the grass part to kind of make it, I think it looks a lot more natural. So you can't plant palm trees on just grass itself. What you have to do is you have to go into the builder mode and you have to get your sand path out. Next, what you do is you take a fruit, you eat a piece of fruit, and then you want to dig out your palm tree. You can also plant it from a coconut as well. And what you want to do is just dig the hole in the sand patch that you made and just put the palm tree in here. So I think this looks, I wouldn't put this tree here because it's blocking, what I did with the towel here, but I think it looks a lot more natural. Put some flowers around it, and there you go. Your beach area looks a bit more beachy, even if it's not on the sand. So that's the first one. All right, so the second tip is to make your DIY customization bench area look a little bit better. I've seen people just have like a bench and then just have all their materials all over their island. So that does a couple things. First of all, it makes your island look a bit ugly, and also it can actually lower your island grade down. So basically what I did here is I just did a dirt rectangle, put the bench on there, put a couple of these log benches, which are pretty easy to make, and then I put my materials on here. These usually aren't on the ground, but besides that, it looks a lot more neater and actually looks like a station. Another example is if you have just a smaller area, you can just put one bench and then kind of like one going sideways. So it fits all sizes, but I just really think it looks a lot better than just having a bench and then just all your materials on the ground. All right, so number 3 is customizing your items, and it can make a world of difference. So right here, I have the birdhouse, which I customized to have a red and white color. And I also have this well, which also has a red and white color. So, you go to a lot of people's towns and you kind of see the same patterns and same things like that. Like here, I did my DIY bench, a different shade of wood, and I really think it stands out. Another good example is over here, I have a log bench that I customized to be kind of like a birch tree. So, there are a bunch of customization options, and I feel like a lot of people ignore those, but they're really awesome to do, and they make your island stand out. All right, so number 4 has to do with sidewalks and making them look a bit better. And I have some examples for you guys today. So this one is kind of a simple design where you have the sidewalk here, the fence behind, and you could put flowers and trees or whatever you want to do, maybe a house behind there. So one thing I will say though is if you see the fence here, there's separation between the fence and the sidewalk. There's some grass in between. I've seen this way too many times. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, where the fence is actually on the sidewalk. It's not really a natural look. Some people may like it, but I just think it doesn't really look that great. Another option which I really like is kind of the same thing, but you have the sidewalk here. You have a little bit of dirt, which is actually this dark dirt pattern here. And it goes behind the sidewalk. You have some flowers and trees and then a fence behind it. This is probably my favorite one. I really do like the addition of the dirt. Kind of gives it a little bit more depth. So those are 2 great ideas. Again, I don't know what you guys think, but I just don't like the fence on the path so much. Another idea, if you're doing kind of like a town square type thing or just a continuation of your sidewalk, I have the sidewalk here, and then I actually made 2 rounded pieces. So I just did 2 square pieces, rounded both of them off, and I really like this look for a street lamp. So I put the street lamp there, and I think that looks really good instead of just having it on the grass. So if you guys want to take that idea, just a couple rounded pieces, and I think that looks really good. All right, the 5th and final tip is a few tips mixed in one. So this is about terraforming, and again, it's about making your island look a bit more natural. So right here we have 2 identical paths. They look okay, but they don't look very natural. So all I do is on the corners, I round it off. And I don't know, I just feel like the curved edges make it look a bit more natural as opposed to this, because Animal Crossing is on a grid. So if you make everything square and angular, it doesn't, like, no one walks like this. You know, they walk in kind of a curved, like that. That seems a bit more natural to me. So I like to curve my paths when I can, and I think it just looks a bit better. I have a nice little square patch of water. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't see this really a lot in nature. So what I do, and it's basic. All I do is I kind of curve the edges all the way around. Whenever I have square patches of water, rectangular patches, whatever, I like to make it look a bit more natural. And all you have to do is build a square and edit it, and you have curved edges. And I think that looks a bit better. I wouldn't do this rectangular pattern, but just as an example, the curved edges I think looks more like a pond as opposed to that square weird patch I had. All right, and the final thing is all about cliffs, and I've seen way too many cliffs look like this. Yeah, again, we're going off the grid, and you know, land doesn't really look like that. It looks a bit more natural. So what I do is I just go to this side, and there you go. What one looks better? This right here, or a nice natural curved edge? So I don't know about you guys, but I just like the look of that, and you can even do it on the other side and make more of like a rounded edge where, you know, it doesn't look that natural if it's just a right angle. So there you go. Look at the first side compared to the second side, and then this side of the pond compared to a little bit of curved edges. So it's all about making your island look like it's an actual island, like an actual landscape, rather than, you know, working with the grid, because there are ways to get around the grid in Animal Crossing. It's just the way that you do it. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you thought of those 5 tips, and leave any suggestions in the comments. Maybe I'll make a part 2 if you guys have more suggestions. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.